Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thanks for stopping by my YouTube channel. This is actually Amos chapter 5. And the whole chapter, everything Amos has to offer is really good information. But unfortunately, I've been doing this thing where I'm short on time, so I'm just going to have to get in here and get in where I fit in. So that we can edify these people or these beings or things, as I like to call them, and let's shed some light. Because without light, guess what? There's only darkness, and in the darkness, you can't find anything. You can't understand what something is if it's dark and you're just picking stuff up. You can feel it, and it kind of feels like something, but you're still not exactly sure what it is. And if it's a piece of paper with words on it and it's dark, good luck. You're not going to know what any of it is. If you're in a room full of books, you don't even know which book you're reading. So those are some truths and understandings that I like to throw out on the table first. Another thing that I like to throw out on the table first is you are not a man because you have a dingling between your legs, or wee wood, whatever you want to call that thing. And you are not a woman because you have the vagina, vajinga, the coochie, whatever you want to call that thing. That does not make you what it is. If you can eat that from my table that I'm feeding you from, then you can carry on with the rest of everything else I'm trying to teach you. Okay. Before I even get into this lesson, I just want to say, I've come to find that a lot of things, when you come into this word, do begin to bother you because everything is written of in the book. So everything that you can touch, taste, see, or smell, or whatever is written of in the book as far as the spirit goes. So my problem is when you try to let the devils know that they're devils, because everybody says, "Oh, the white man is the devil," this, that, and the third. I don't think y'all been reading your book. I really don't think you are reading this book correctly. And trust and believe, I've never been racist in my whole entire life. I've dated every race. I've always been the way I'm supposed to be since I was put here. And the only reason why I am where I am now is because the Lord separated me from all of those things that think they're something that they are not. And then he showed me, because I opted to believe what he was showing me that I am, as opposed to what everything down here is telling me that they think that I am. So that'll leave you with a bad taste in your mouth if you're me, and if you are on the opposite of me, where you're trying to bring me to your side and put your chains on me, because that's what you're literally doing. You're putting me into a state of bondage. If I allow you to put me in that state of bondage, then I've refused what the Lord has given me, and then I am then judged for agreeing to that sin of bondage, whether it be, oh, the Sabbath day is this day, or whatever it is that you subscribe to. That's your bondage. Because if you call yourself of the house of Israel, the laws that was given to the house of Israel is your judgment. The same for the house of Ephraim, the Edomites. Oh, I mean, just down the list. You could just go down the list. Uh, because let me put something on Front Street. Jacob is the son. And Jacob was called Hill Catcher. But if you read Genesis, you would know that something was going to bruise Adam's feet, and then, or catch his heel, and then Adam's seed was going to bruise their head. So, yeah, you'll start to see what's going on as time goes on. But if you go through Hosea, when you read about the whoredoms, I'm just trying to give you a good pathway before I get into here. It goes through and it tells you that the iniquities of Jacob and Israel, It goes all through there. It tells you about their sins and this, that, and the third because of their mess ups. Is what got them to where they are today. You can't get out of it by yourself because what you know is what you learned from when you came out of the womb of your physical earthly mom when you was with born here and got a birth certificate or whatever the case may be, social security number. These is all chains, including your birth dates, because Jesus don't celebrate birthdays. So for them to have this pagan ass September 25th day, it's just pagan as hell. Like you don't even got to deal with it. So this is all things that I learned when I came out of my bondage, my slavery, because the Lord said, I will set you free. Jesus is going to set you free. When did he say he was going to set you free? When the Spirit descends upon you. When the Spirit comes on you, up on you. That's when you free. So when he allowed his Spirit, which is his knowledge and his information, and it's not these words that you would read them every day. That's everyone's folly is you read this book like you're reading a textbook or you're reading a love story. The words don't mean the same, and I can't stress that enough. Like, for instance, there's beings or entities that kick my back in 24/7, and then they'll ask me for stupid information, and I'm like, or they'll say, "Oh, brother, you off?" No, one, I'm not your brother because if I was your brother, you know what I know, and you don't know what I know. So I therefore am not related to you spiritually, not related to you because of your knowledge. Your knowledge is dwelling in the earth. I'm from above. You're from below. We don't live in the same place mentally. Okay? So I don't want anybody to get tripped up by what I'm trying to tell them. So it's things like that you really need to know, like the definition of law. What is law? How many definitions did the Lord give the word law? All right, and you need to know that um, the colors, what the colors mean, what the stones are, and things of this matter, because we don't understand what the colors are. We don't understand what red is. We don't understand what blue is. We don't understand what green is, white, black, um, orange, gold. You don't understand, you don't understand, and I understand that you don't understand. So I'm trying to help you understand that I understand so that you can understand what I'm trying to get you to understand and grasp these concepts that these are the words of God. When He spoke these words to us and taught us how to read, write, and whatever it is that we're supposed to be doing with these words, and He gave every sending land a judgment along with these words. So you're judged by the definitions on the words for as you accept them in the time that you accept them. And I know a lot of that's not going to make a whole lot of sense, but it is what it is. Just try to deal and figure it out. You'll figure it out. All you got to really do is just read. Just read. Read it like you just reading. Don't try to understand it. Just read to remember what you're reading. And then the book will start to talk to you. The book, yes, the words that are in that book on the page will start to talk to you. And I don't mean a literal voice, it's the spirit of the voices that wrote it. You will understand them so clearly. So clearly. So this is I wanted to bring this out and I'm gonna try something different because if I read this when I read I like to break down every word. I'm just trying to break down sections this time. So I'm gonna try to get this audio book to read these scriptures here because I see a whole lot of words that I just want to go in here and break down that are highlighted in blue. But if I do that, I'll be all day. So this area in the yellow, in the blue, I'm going to turn yellow eventually. But for right now, I just need you to listen and then I'll pause. I'll try to do at least every verse. I'll pause and go over a couple things here. And we're going to start from 8 and go down to 21 because this is something you need to understand because this is all, part of a judgment. This is part of the judgment day. This is why you don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to press play, and it should start at number 8, and then I'll pause it at number 9, and I'll talk a little bit, and so on, etc. Try to get this done in at least 20 minutes or so, 30 tops. All right, here we go.
Seek him that maketh the 7 stars and Orion, and turneth the shadow of death into the morning, and maketh the day dark with night, that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. The Lord is his name.
Okay. Did y'all get that? For one, the one thing that I definitely want to point out is it says seek him. So if it says seek him, that means he's down here. His spirit, some being, has the spirit of God down here, walking around. But it said seek him that maketh the 7 stars and Orion, and trusting in, and turneth the shadows of death into morning. Okay, now let me explain that. The shadow of death that you're carrying is all the laws and statutes and judgments that was given to Israel, because we was shown the Lord's back or his shadow, because they couldn't see Moses face to face when he was. They couldn't take him. They told Moses to cover his face. Now your face is not the literal thing, because his face shines so brightly. But the face is not the literal thing that you call a face with your 2 eyes, nose, and mouth in it. That's not your face. Your face is your forward personality of who you truly are. If you was on a date, it would not be the representative that you brought to the date to meet this woman or this man for the first time, and you the nicest you could be, and you outgoing, the most outgoing you that you can be. That is not your face. That's your back, because you're acting. Okay, your face would be who you are up front every day when you wake up next to this being that you've been wooing for so long. That is your forward face. Okay, so that is an understanding that we need to get. We don't know what stuff is, and guess what? I didn't know what this stuff was, but I'm trying to tell you what it is, because it says seek him. Seek him. That and turneth the shadow of death into morning. This is morning. Morning goes in 2 ways here. Morning is, one, you're going to be crying because I'm telling you the truth. And the other morning is the morning that the sun is shining, because the Lord's day is darkness to you, but it's bright to me, because I got the knowledge that you need. So if I bring this knowledge to you, you are going to be in a state of darkness. You are going to be in absolute disarray, because everything you have learned and that these entities have put chains on you with all these lies. Oh, your grandmama up in heaven right now dancing for you. Oh, she looking down on you. No, she ain't. She in the dirt. And if somebody tell you something different, tell them to come see me, so I could put them in their place. Because that is my job, to put you in your place, because I'm the righteous one. This whole scripture is talking about me. No matter how I look at it, I mean, I have jokers look at me like, you crazy. And then I looked at me like, oh man, this is kind of crazy. But the stuff that the words tell you to do, when you understand them, you understand who you are. That's why it also reads in another place, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. Because you need to find yourself. That's why it says seek ye. Because you are all in the book. You just don't know what you are. You could be a tree. You could be well, I ain't gonna say amount. You could be a tree. You could be a fish. You could be fruit. You could be grass. You could be flowers. You could be a lion, cats, dogs. You just don't know what you are. You could be the goat. You could be a calf. There's so many things that you could possibly be, but you just don't know what you are. All right? And that's what I'm trying to explain to you. You just don't know, so shut up and listen. If you shut up and listen, you will be increased in yourself. That's what it's about. It's about you, because the Lord said You can only save you. You are only responsible for you, but you still have to tell others about it. You can't save nobody but you. You don't have the power or authority yet to do so. Once you get the power and authority to save somebody, this is the information I'm giving you to save them with. So if you don't have the information, you can't do it. If you read this book like every day and you read the book of Solomon, yeah, well, let's say the Songs of Solomon, and then you think that it's a love story between a man and a woman, you are in error. Error. That's your fault because you're not listening. And I've done videos on this stuff. Go look at the videos and then come back. First and foremost, what am I trying to do to you? What chain have I put on you that you are not already wearing? What chains am I trying to remove from you that you are wearing? So if I see that God put the chains on you, but he also sent me to take them off of you because you're only supposed to have them on for a time because it's a punishment. But once you're past the punishment, it's like if you had time out or if, well, I'm sorry, I'm black, which you entities would call a black man in America. So my parents whooped my ass. I didn't get a timeout. And boy, was you happy when the ass whooping was over, but you be praying the whole time that it ain't coming again in the morning before you went to school or something like that. But that's what it is. You can't fix something unless you have the power to fix it. So my parents had the power to whoop my ass and correct me. I have the power to tell you the truth so that you could correct yourself. You'll all the healings and miracles that Jesus was working, this is what it was. He was healing people's minds. He showed you how to see, like I'm showing you how to see now. And he'll show you how to walk, like I'll show you how to walk. You got to walk straight. Because if you turn to the left or right hand, that leaves you in some entity's house. And if you're in an entity's house, all things have been judged. Every entity, whether it be a tree, branch, flower, uh, dog, cat, lion, bear, so on, etc. You have all been judged back then. This is the time for release, the time of freedom, so that we can get back to doing what we are supposed to be doing for the Father. But like I said, that's another day, another story. So, it maketh the day dark. So this is the morning. The morning comes twice. The morning is going to be everybody's crying about what I'm saying right now. And then I make it the day dark. How am I making the day dark? Because y'all out there thinking you shining, popping your collars, talking about, ooh, I'm the child of Israel. Ooh, you the son of the fucking devil, stupid. Stop. Understand what the son of perdition is. Understand what perdition means. Who keeps going and getting in trouble and then getting locked up and put into a lake of fire called slavery, jail, so on and etc. Figure this shit out and then you'll know who you are. Stop doing it. Walk straight. Learn from me. So this is me turning your day into darkness because you think you shining bright. You are a moon. A moon does not outshine the sun. I don't care. Yeah, you have 7 times brightness right now. But right now, you still not outshining the sun. You can't. Because your brightness come from the sun. So how can you outshine your creation? The thing that gave you light. You can't do it. You can't do it. Mm-mm. So let's go on. Hold on. I want to see. We could really get into this, but the waters in Revelations, God tells you what waters is. Jesus very clearly explains what waters are. Ooh, time is going quick. I gotta step up my game. So read Revelations, find out what waters is. The problem is you don't understand. God said his words stand forever. So when he told you what this word waters mean, that is the meaning of the word every time you see it. Every time. The morning, darkness, day, night. All these words have different meanings. Stars. If you remember what God called stars, which are angels, this is forever. Every time you see this word star, it translates into an angel or a messenger. Okay? Okay. I'm assuming you got it because you're still with me. Um, so let's go through. I'm gonna let my man finish reading this right here.
That strengtheneth the spoiled against the strong, so that the spoiled shall come against the fortress.
Okay. The spoiled is who? The spoiled. And who they gonna come get against? The fortress. Who is the fortress? I'm not. I can't give you all the answers because your the power comes from your powers of perception. That means you have to perceive what is going on. Then you have the power of discernment. God came to upgrade your intelligence because everything else comes with the intelligence. So if he can make you not be stupid first, then he can give you all the other stuff that you were promised. But most of them don't understand. Like, in back in the Old Testament, you the they received their rewards. He said, "My reward is with me." They received it instantly. You will receive your reward instantly if you understand the definitions on these words when I give them to you. Because that's what it's all about. It's all about understanding the Lord and choosing to understand Him over everything else, no matter how hard it is to believe. Because when you look, this is basically just being read straight up. But when you switch to spirit, all these words from ye to it to in to not, uh, and all of these words have different meanings in the spirit. They don't mean what you think they are, and they are actual entities. It is what it is. It's like Men in Black. You had Agent J, right? So let's say you had Agent J, Agent A, Agent C, and Agent K, right? And they're getting ready to go do a mission. So what would you say? Jack, come here. Jack, go do this. Now you're saying the word Jack in place of each individual agent, but all four agents and their sidekicks will appear with them when they show up. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That is it right there. Okay? So you need to understand the word of God, the word of the Lord. All right? Because I'm tired of these entities telling me what they think, and I'm telling you what I know. I can't I can't I can't lie to you about it because when you learn how to read this book, the book snitch on all the liars in the world. Everybody's a liar. Everything is a liar. Everything is a liar because you don't know you are a thing with ears that can hear me. You're sitting in front of your computer, old thing, listening to me, or in front of your YouTube accessible device, old thing. But you don't know that you are a thing. And you don't know how to transcend yourself into a being. Okay? So this will all help. Just listen. Just listen.
They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. For as much therefore
You're
as
talking
your
about
treading
me.
is upon the poor, and ye take from him burdens of wheat, ye have built houses of hewn stone, but ye shall not dwell in them. Ye have planted
All right. Now he telling you about yourself and things you've done. This is things that have been done. You don't know what stones are judges. All right. So you have all of these houses that built judges and things like that. You got people that built this country. Like there's different levels that you can look at this on, and it all still points to the same thing. Because when God says something, it covers all seven levels. That's why He just was telling you about these stars up here, the seven stars um, of Orion, because there's seven levels. Then you have to divide the levels of seven into two which would be 14 total because there's a negative and a positive outlook to each of the seven. But if you walk straight, they are just 14 straight paths. All right? And you say, what do you mean by walk straight? When you walk straight, you don't turn to the left hand or right hand. You don't eat blood and you don't eat of the earth. You just won't do that. All right? That's in Genesis. Do not drink the blood, but pour it onto the earth. You need to know what earth is, because if you consider the dirt you're standing on earth, you're in error, because then that means that you think that that stuff inside your body is what blood is. Blood is your history. It's your DNA that you came through to get to, that got you physically put here. Your history, the ways of the people that got you to where you are today. That's your blood. All right. And ashes would be the burnt up version of it, like the stuff that's burnt. Because you don't know what fire is, but the Lord's word is a fire. So there you go. So I am a fire. Yes. All right. So that was that. And I got that. Reboot the gaze. Okay. So we'll go ahead and let him try to finish up.
Into vineyards, but ye shall not drink wine of them. For I know your manifold transgressions and your...
Wine is spirit. That's why even in this world they say, oh, it's the wine and spirit store. Why? We never considered red and blue. Like, I didn't even consider, even when I found out the spiritual definition of blue is law and the spiritual definition of red is order, I did not know that they put it in our face, because guess what's on top of the cop cars around here? Red and blue lights. Law and order, right? And then when you look at the TV show Law and Order, what colors are the words? I did not know that. I promise you, I didn't know that until, like, I couldn't see. It was in front of your face, but you can't see it until somebody points it out to you. So that's me giving sight to the blind. This is what I do. Yes, you're welcome. So those are the spiritual definitions of the colors. When you come across those colors inside the word, you now know what to associate those colors with, because you got purple, scarlet, blue, gold, and so on and etc. You got these colors, but if you don't know what they mean, you think it's just those colors that you were taught when you were in school. But the word blue means law, okay? And it is associated with the color blue, okay? Okay. So I this is me just trying to pour out some of my spirit onto you entities, so you guys get somewhere.
Almighty sins. They afflict the just. They take a bribe, and they turn aside the poor in the gate from their right. Therefore the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time. Seek good and not evil, that ye may live. And so the...
All right. Now, see, you don't know. Remember what I just said about Jack? I did a sermon on not. Ooh, wow. Wow. I did a sermon on not. It's not a really, really short sermon. It's pretty long. But that was just to introduce one of my words to you. So that you can understand that NOT is an entity. And when he comes, it says, you know what? Nope, too much meat. Because once you understand that that word not is not what you think it means, like it isn't or whatever, that is not what that word is. It's actually a being. It says seek good and not evil. Okay? So once you understand who not is, that's like saying seek good and Larry evil. Okay? If you want to put it like that. Put your name in where the evil is. Alright? Your name and then say evil. And then you was like, okay, so God, what is God just telling me to do? He told me to do something. He gave you a secret hidden commandment there. but you don't know about it because you think this word NOT is just what it says, NOT, and you don't understand that everything is an entity. So I wanted to point that out. Um, let's finish it up.
The Lord, the God of hosts, shall be with you, as ye have spoken. Hate the evil, and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. It may be that the Lord God of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph. Therefore the Lord...
Wait, unto the remnant of who? Wait, he said the remnant of Joseph? Wait, no, the remnant of Jacob. Nope, he said Joseph. The remnant of Israel. Nope, he said Joseph. The who is the remnant? The elect? So what house you live in? This is blood right here. But Jesus had blood too. His blood was the blood you had to eat. But you are not to eat it before you meet Jesus. Now, when I say that is when you understand Jesus, then you eat the blood because you know what you're looking for. So he ain't say Israel, he ain't say Jacob because Jacob is the sun and Israel is the moon. And in Revelations, there's a woman clothed to the foot with a garment and clothed, and her feet is the sun and the moon. We know who that is. That's Israel. All right. So if you don't know that, you better go read Hosea again. I think y'all skipping over words or something. Because I don't understand how all I had to do to get this understanding was to leave church and stop listening to what my wife thought, stop listening to what my brother thought, my sister thought, my mom thought, my aunt thought, my uncle thought, my father thought. Once I learned how to ignore what their thought processes was on this matter, and it wasn't that I was being disrespectful, it's I understood I had to learn that what God wants us to know, nobody knows, or else we wouldn't be in this state of condition down here on this plane. And I gotta rush this along. We got a couple more minutes, but that's what I'm saying. This says remnant of Joseph. What? And then the coming judgment. I like the little titles. Oh, hold on, before we go any further, I want to take this time for infomercial break to inform you where I got this from is Bible Hub, people, and this is free air advertisement for Bible Hub because God bless them. Because guess what? Knowledge has been increased because if I needed to get this message up on this screen and this knowledge wasn't increased here first, then I would have had to type all of this into a Word document when they increased the knowledge by allowing me to access this technology, highlight it, copy it, and paste it as opposed to typing the whole thing, which I think is really smart. That's a great thing there. And that's from the Most High. He does things like that because he keeps telling you time is going to be sped up. Time is going to be sped up. You're the one that don't believe him. Okay, now.
The God of hosts, the Lord, saith thus, Wailing shall be in all streets, and they shall say in all the highways, Alas, alas. And they shall call the husbandmen to mourning, and such as are skillful of lamentation to wailing. And in all vineyards shall...
All right. So, basically, what the Lord is telling you, I'm gonna give you the nutshell version because I can't. My air conditioner is off because if it's on, you can't hear this recording because my Mac sits right in front of the air conditioner. So I'm dying in here with this heat. But anyway, I was trying to make a point here. This wailing in the gist of it, you know what a lass is? A lass is a girl. Alas. That is also a female. All right. But anyway, we're not even going to go there. But they're calling the husbandmen into the streets for mourning so that they can lament, so that they can do what they doing in the streets every around here every Sabbath and Friday and some Sundays. They're out there lamenting in the streets, but to no avail. Like they're calling you into their houses because they're sorry to say, 90. It's like I said, all streets and all tables in another place are filthy. So no matter where you go to eat, if you going into a physical place to eat, they not feeding you right. All right, your brain is going to be jacked up level 9. That's all I'm trying to say. All right, so next, let's say, uh, let's just go on.
A bewailing, for I will pass through thee, saith the Lord. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you?
Okay, now this is the most important part. This is really a great, and I'm almost done because I got like 4 minutes left. But he said, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord." How many is asking to see the day of the Lord? You can't see it because it's darkness, and he can already tell you the same thing. This is what I'm explaining to you. I gave you light before I even started. Now, if you're still in darkness by this point, there's something wrong with you, and you need to go back and reconsider what I'm telling you. This is the darkness of the day of the Lord. Hold on, I wanted to finish it.
The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him.
He said, the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Didn't I just tell you about this entity not? And if you know who Jesus is not. He's light. Jesus is light, yes, and not come with Jesus. All right. So if I'm not light, right, that means I'm not what you consider to be a spiritual being. I'm not what you consider to be a bearer of truth because of all the brainwashing you have experienced from the time that you fell out of your mother's womb, as we so crudely call it. When that has nothing to do with Genesis or anything. You don't even understand that the rib that Eve came out of from Adam, it was his doctrine. Because you don't understand that a rib is your staff, a stick, a rod. And if you understood that, you would know what a rod is. It is not that thing in between your legs. It is not that thing you pick off of a tree. It is your doctrine. It's what you use to stand on when you get weak. Because guess what? If you start to get weak, and I'm coming at your neck right now, just take this as an example. I'm coming at your neck right now. What are you going to do? You're going to go pull out one of your doctrines. If you're an astute studier, you're going to pull out one of your old sermons or something where you covered something similar to what I'm going over. And that will be your staff or your sword even that you would use to come to fight me with. All right? And it's a staff when you make a woman out of it, because that's then your doctrine, and you give your doctrine to your audience, which would become your woman. Not everyone in the audience becomes part of the woman. Some of them go on about their way. Same as if you was working at Walmart. Walmart, the CEO would be the man of Walmart, and the actual entities working in Walmart would be the woman, because the woman is the product of the man. But you don't understand that, so you left in bonds. So now you got Muslim women walking around looking like ninjas and shit, disrespectful as hell. Oh, you gotta cover your face. Why? Because that thing that calls himself as a man is weak. He can't keep it in his pants. He gotta rape somebody, or he gotta put his hands on you. And then you put on the title woman, and he subject you to the lowest form. He treats you lower than insects. So you want to really be called a woman? Then be a woman. I ain't never stopped nobody from being what they want to be or doing what they wanted to do. That is not what the Lord Your God does. The Lord your God allows you to be judged according to your will because you have free will. So your free will got you your free judgment into the predicament that you're in.
Or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the...
Oh, sorry. All right, so I'm gonna tell you what a lion is. A lion is nope. Ain't even gonna do it. Ain't even gonna do it because I covered this in other lectures. Oh, I got a couple minutes. I've really got to wrap this up. But all right, a lion is if you from the tribe of Judah, you are a lion. Okay, that is uh, the tribe of kings and princes and things of that nature. That's if you eat blood. But I'm just telling you what something is, so when you see it, you can identify it with it the next time you see that word. All right.
The day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Boom, we are done. All right, now he just told you, shall not the day, because remember, not is an entity, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness. And this is darkness. I'm in front of you and you can't see me because it's so dark to you. And it is really not dark. I'm shining so bright that it's just dark to you. You can't see me. All right, that's what that's saying. And not light. And it is not light. The information that I'm giving you is not light, which is literally, I don't know. It's like SpongeBob opposite day. Certain words have different meanings, and depending on, it's all about your discernment. You just don't have the gift to understand what I'm telling you yet. So I'm trying to help you get the gift because once you get the gift, I don't rule you anymore. You become like me. Just the same way as Jesus' disciples became like Jesus, that is what is going on. He didn't rule over his disciples. He helped them when they needed counseling. He counseled them until it was his time to leave. And then after he left, they went about doing their own thing. Did he have to come back and check on them? No. No. And why? Because they are smart and everybody else was stupid. So he saved who he could save, but everybody can't be saved. That's like if you said, if you happen to be driving down the street and you saw a skyscraper on fire in the middle of nowhere, like it was miles to get over to this area where you seen this fire at, but you just so happen to be there. You by yourself ain't going to get everybody out. I don't care what you do. If it's on the first floor, pretty much everybody upstairs is screwed unless you get assistance. So everybody's not going to be saved. Those who will survive that tragic accident would be the ones who were willing to do the necessary things: jump out the window, tie ropes, figure out if somebody had an escape, a fire escape on that level, see which way they can go. Like, you have to figure your way out of the burning building. And the whole world is on fire. You just don't know you're on fire. You're looking for the wrong kind of fire. And with that being said, unless righteousness, no peace, because there is no peace, because this book is going to keep telling the truth. It is no way around the truth that this book is telling you. You just don't understand what you're reading. And that's that. Because I told you what the mark of the beast is. How many times do I got to tell you that? And the beast is 6, 6, 6. But you don't understand. Each one of those sixes spit out another 3 sixes. So if I don't even want to get into it. I can't. My energy is zapped, and I'm not trying to lose my virtue right now because as you ascend, remember it's 7. 7 is 14 automatically. So when you go up past the 7, you got to go up 14 levels. That means there's 14 things, characteristics or information, levels of information you need to remove from yourself in order to understand one thing pertaining to the true and living God. Because God is the living God. So that means he ain't left this place, man. His spirit's still here. We can't understand him when we see it. And I'm in front of you. And you can believe what you want. You can say, oh, this brother is the devil. Oh, that ain't my brother. Oh, this nigga's the devil, blah, blah, blah. You can say what you want. The truth is the light. And I am that light. I'm shining right here in front of you. You just can't understand me. So unless righteousness, no peace. That is my kiss from me to you. So if you don't know what a kiss is, when you read about kissing in the Bible, and the kiss that Judas betrayed Jesus with, I'm gonna give you my kiss. So you can betray me if you wish, but at the end of the day, you can't kill nobody and nothing can't die. Okay? If I don't have a body, how can you kill me? If I'm nothing, how can you steal me? You can't. You can't. All you can do is hear me. So my kiss from me to you. Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to explain Kiss real quick. The band Kiss made a song called "I'm Gonna Rock and Roll All Night and Party Every Day." So if you wanted to kiss me, and I was the creator of Kiss, and I was in the mall or I was in the streets, and I just say I wanna rock and roll all night, and then someone will look over and they might smile, they may not, but most of the times when you're kissing, you're smiling because you have an understanding that someone else doesn't have. And they say, and party every day. Then they have completed the kiss of the meeting of the mind. All right? So I just kissed you. Unless righteousness, and when you kiss me back, no peace. So you're no peace, and I'm unless righteousness. So I said, unless righteousness. You said no peace. And then we just kissing each other. And we gonna piss a whole bunch of people off, but that is my kiss. That is literally my kiss. And I share it to those who listen. Unless righteousness, no peace.